Dear students, in this class we will continue with the second part of our presentation on cryptography and network security overview. Dear students, in this class we will discuss about the aspects of security. There is various aspects of security or three important aspects of information security. That is the security attack, security mechanism or security control and security service. So what is a threat? Threat is a potential for violation of security, and a potential threat can pave way for an attack in the future. What is vulnerability? A way by which a loss can happen. That is called as a vulnerability. A system is prone to loss if it is vulnerable, or a network is prone to loss if it is vulnerable. Attack is nothing but an assault on a system security, a deliberate attempt to evade security services. So in detail we will discuss about these things in this particular class. What is a passive attack? Passive attack is nothing but interception. One example for passive attack is interception. So here you can see Bob is a person who is a sender and Alice is a person who is the receiver. So Bob needs to send some information to Alice over the internet or other communication facility. So Darth is a person who is a hacker who can be able to, or who is trying to have access to this particular network or the internet, and he reads the content of message from Bob to Alice. So actually Bob is the sender and Alice is the receiver, and Darth is the hacker who gets access to the contents of Bob, and he just reads the contents of Bob which is intended for Alice. So he is the person who provides. Why is that? So he is the person who provides some kind of so he is the person who actually gets access of the message, but he does not do anything with that of the message. He just reads the content of the message. So that's why it is called as a passive attack. Earlier we have studied about the impact of various attacks. I think all of you might be knowing about it. The impact of the various attacks, either it will be low impact, medium impact, or moderate impact, or a high impact. So if it is a low impact, for example this kind of attack, passive attack, interception, is just a low impact attack because the Darth, who is the hacker, just reads the contents of the message from Bob to Alice, but he does not do anything with that. So it is a low impact attack, so it is called as a passive attack. So interception is example for a passive attack. Next kind of passive attack is traffic analysis. So here again Bob is the sender and Alice is the receiver, and Darth is a person who is the hacker. So what he does, he just observes the traffic pattern. Bob sends some message to Alice through the internet or communication facility, other communication facility, and Darth just observes the traffic pattern. Just observes the traffic pattern. So observing the traffic pattern, just doing some traffic analysis, is again a passive attack. He is not doing anything harmful with that, so it is a passive attack. Again, it is a low impact attack. Then comes the active attack, which is interruption. Here you can see Darth blocks the delivery of the message. He tries to interrupt the communication here, right? So therefore the message intended from Bob to Alice does not deliver to Alice. It has been blocked. The delivery of the message has been blocked. So it is called as an active attack or interruption. So here the hacker plays a moderate kind of attack, okay, because the message is getting blocked. It is not delivered to Alice. So this is an example of a moderate attack or active attack, that is interruption. Some communication channel failure example can be an active attack. Then again active attack, fabrication. Here Bob wants to send some message to Alice. Darth, again the hacker, tries to fabricate a message and sends to Alice. That is, instead of sending the Bob's message to Alice, Darth himself fabricates some own message by himself and tries to send it to Alice. So this is called as a fabrication, fabricated message. He is sending a fabricated message to Alice rather than the message sent from Bob. So this is again an active attack. It is a serious attack because Alice will not receive the original intended message from Bob. Instead of that, Darth himself sends some other fabricated message to Alice. So this attack impact may be more serious. It may be moderate or even high impact. Again, the active attack, replay attack is there. Here again, the Darth, what he does is he just captures the message from Bob to Alice, and later he replays that message to Alice. So that means, for example, Bob might have sent that message only once. Say 500 rupees has been transferred from Bob to Alice. But what Darth does is he tries to replay that message again. So later again one more 500 rupees may be sent to Alice. So this is again a serious kind of attack. It may lead to some financial loss also. So it may be a high impact or a moderate impact. What Darth does, he captures the message from Bob to Alice, later try to replay that message to Alice. So that is an active attack. Again, one more active attack is modification. Earlier we saw replay active attack, now the modification active attack. Here again Darth, what he does, he gets the information from Bob, the message from Bob, through the internet or communication channel or communication media. So what Darth does here is he just get access of the message from Bob through the internet or the communication medium and modifies that message. So earlier it was a fabrication attack where he himself fabricates a own message and send to Alice. Now he modifies the message of Darth and send to Alice. Again, this is an active attack, which is a modification. So how to handle these kind of attacks? So the passive attacks are the ones which we need to focus on prevention, because it is easy to stop rather than to detect. So it is easy to stop, hard to detect. Therefore we can focus on prevention when there is a passive attack. When there is an active attack, it is hard to stop but easy to detect. Therefore we can focus on detection and recovery kind of algorithms for active attacks. So this is the way how we can handle the attacks. When it is a passive attack, which is easy to stop, hard to detect, we can focus on prevention. When it is an active attack, it is hard to stop, easy to detect, therefore we can focus on detection and recovery. Attacks. The next one is the security service. As I told you, we have dealt about the attacks, mechanisms and services. So service means how we can provide the security to the system. Okay. So enhance the security of data processing systems and information transfers of an organization, intended to counter the security attacks. So opposite or counter the security attacks for which we are using a service. Then using one or more security mechanisms in order to implement that, like cryptographic algorithms, and often replicates functions normally associated with physical documents. So whenever there is a physical document, how we will provide security? For example, we need to register the document, stamp paper should be given, signature has to be obtained. Same way, whatever the physical functionalities, we try to provide it digitally. Okay. For example, having signatures, dates, need protection from disclosure, tampering or destruction, be notarized or witnessed, and be recorded or licensed. Same way, the physical mechanism we try to incorporate using the computers digitally. So these are some of the security service standards, X.800 architecture, OS architecture. Already we have seen that. Then RFC is request for common 2828 standard. X.800 and RFC 2828 standard we have for implementing the security services. So X.800 is a service provided by a protocol layer of communicating open systems. It is open systems interconnection, which ensures adequate security of the systems or of data transfers or information transfers, and information security is provided through X.800. Then RFC 2828, a processing or communication service provided by a system to give a specific kind of protection to system resources. So security services according to X.800, we have authentication, access control, data confidentiality, data integrity and non-repudiation. So already we have discussed about data confidentiality, data integrity and non-repudiation. So remaining two things we will try to discuss here, that is authentication and access control. So what is authentication? Authentication is the assurance that communicating entity is the one client. So usually we have the login ID and password. For example, when you want to log in into your email account, you have a username and password. That ensures only you are getting login into the system. That is called authentication. After logging in, what and all the services you are able to access, that is called access control. So prevention of the unauthorized use of a resource. Even after logging in, you might have some privilege to access only a certain set of resources. So that is called access control. Whether if you are an administrator, you will have full control. Whether it's a normal user, they will have some control like that. So that is called access control. And data confidentiality, integrity, and non-repudiation already we have discussed. Then finally, availability also we have discussed already. That means the resource should be accessible or usable or available all the time. The hackers or viruses should not be able to prevent that. Then security mechanisms allies the security control. Okay, so before getting into this presentation, I would recommend all of you to please go through my earlier presentation, that is part 1 of this video. Then you come for this part 2, then only you will be able to understand. So mechanism is nothing but a feature designed to detect, prevent or recover from a security attack. No single mechanism that will support all the services required. However, one particular element underlies many of the security mechanisms in use. So what is that particular element? Cryptographic techniques. So hence our focus will be on this particular topic. Cryptographic techniques are the cryptographic algorithms. Okay, so security mechanisms, again according to X.800, it is classified into specific security mechanisms and also the pervasive security mechanisms. So some mechanisms are provided as a specific one, like encipherment, digital signatures, access controls, data integrity, authentication, exchange, traffic padding, routing control, notarization, etc. And some are pervasive security mechanisms like trusted functionality, trust systems, security labels, event detection, security audit trails, and security recovery. Okay, so now I will discuss about a general model for network security, and this is the one that will be forming as a base for all the cryptographic techniques and algorithms that are implemented. So here we have a sender. Assume A is a sender here. A is a sender here. A wants to send some message to the recipient. So assume B is a recipient. So A wants to send some message to the recipient B. So initially a security related transformation is done. So security related transformation is the cryptographic technique or the cryptographic algorithm. That is the security related transformation. Encryption techniques or cryptographic techniques or cryptographic algorithm we use to transform the message into some other unreadable or unintelligible format. So for that a secret information is required. The secret information is normally called as a key. Okay, key or a password. Okay, then we have a secure message. Once this security related transformation applying the key is done, the message gets converted into a secure message. Then it is passed through the information channel, and even if this information channel is hacked by some other person, they will not be able to understand anything from that because it is an unreadable or unintelligible format. Okay, and then through the information channel, the secure message is passed to the receiver. And receiver side also again the same security related transformation is done, which is called as a decryption. So here it is an encryption and here it is a decryption, and for decryption also the key has to be applied. The secret information or key or a password has to be applied, and finally the original message is received. As such, it is sent by the sender to the receiver. And here even if the opponent tries to attack this channel, hacker or opponent tries to attack this channel, he or she will not be able to understand anything from that particular message. Okay, it is in an unreadable format. Only after decryption the message will be able to be understandable. Okay, so again we have a trusted third party or an arbiter or a distributor of the secret information or key to the sender and the receiver, because they need the key to decrypt the message. And security related transformation is a common algorithm. It is a public algorithm. Anyone can be able to access that particular algorithm. There is no secret in that. Only the key is kept as secret, and it has to be safely stored and distributed between the sender and the receiver. So this is the model for network security or any general security systems or mechanisms that need to be implemented will follow this particular model. Okay, so this general model for network security as well as the information security. So using this model requires to design a suitable algorithm for the security transformation that I told you, generate the secret information or keys used by the algorithm, and develop methods to distribute and share the secret information, specify a protocol enabling the principles to use the transformation and secret information for security service. All these things we have discussed here in the model for the network security or the internet security. We have something which is called as a gatekeeper function, which I told you. So in order to identify the users, we need to properly design this gatekeeper function. okay, which is acts as an authentication from the access channel into the system, or from the system to the access channel. So using this model requires us to select appropriate gatekeeper functions to identify the users and implement security controls to ensure only authorized users access the designated information or resources. So here we need both authentication as well as the access control, which we discussed earlier. And note that this model does not include monitoring of system for successful penetration and monitoring of authorized users for misuse. Okay. So for example, if there is a successful penetration, sometimes the monitoring can be a failure, and also if the authorized users themselves misuse the system, there is no prevention. Okay, so these are some of the pitfalls in this particular model, but anyway, this is again a popular model for the network access security. And audit logging for forensic users, etc. So this is some kind of a disclaimer, and even without these things, the other features are properly designed, and this is again a quite popular model. And in general, in summary, what we have discussed is, we have discussed about the topic roadmap and standards organizations. We also discussed about the security concepts like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In addition to that, we have discussed the non-repudiation also, and we have discussed about authentication, access control. We have discussed about the exploit-oriented security architecture. We have discussed about the security attack services and mechanisms, and also models for network and network access security. Thank you guys.